Right.
Okay. We should be good to go.
Sweet.
Knock on wood. Unless this whole interview is just about to go out the door. I don't think so.
Right.
It's happened before, but not for any, The SD card was full. Not for anything my fault. Obviously, I am a professional.
Clearly.
Okay. Jack, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I start every single interview off on my show. It's called Are You Okay? With asking my guests if you're okay today. How are you doing? Give us a check-in.
Yeah. In fact, I'm doing pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a good day today.
Okay.
Off work, feeling great to be here.
Great. Off work from your software development gig?
That's the one.
Your day job.
Yeah,
okay.
Off at 4:30, so here we are.
Nice. That's really nice. Do you want to just start by introducing yourself, who you are? What you do for music?
My name is Jack Cattabiani, and I play instruments, I write songs, and yeah, that's about it.
Cool. All transparency to anyone listening, I saw you play last week, your first show at Radio Bean, downtown Burlington, and I was with my friend, and I just leaned over to my friend, and I was like, I want that guy on my show, and I totally stalker level waited for you to get off stage, walked over to you and was like, hey, basically I just, solicited you to be here, so thank you so much for being here.
Of
really.
course. No, it was executed very professionally.
Thank you. I try. I need a business card or something, otherwise it just seemed like a very creepy concert goer, but yeah, your show was incredible, and I totally liked your vibe, and my show was basically about nostalgic music, which is super open-ended, but I like all different types of music, and I'm really interested in hearing how artists create the music that they do, and so I interview people essentially to ask how they made their music, why they made it. I feel like your whole the style of music that you create is really, really unique, but it totally has that nostalgic, somber vibe to it, even though it's kind of upbeat and kind of a bump. I really like how you've blended those, so I figured we could talk about that. I think maybe I'm wrong, but you have kind of a cool story about how you created Russo, right?
Yeah.
Which is your EP, came out October 2022, something like that.
Correct.
Did I get my facts right?
Yeah. So yeah, the story actually starts even a year before that. I had been messing with the idea of just isolating myself and writing and recording some music from scratch. And so summer of 21, I ended up renting a cabin for 4 days in the Northeast Kingdom. And I took all my instruments and no ideas. And so I set up my recording setup, and I just spent those 4 days writing and recording and writing lyrics and then singing 4 tunes. And then I mixed it all myself afterwards, which I'd never done before. So it was sort of an experiment the whole way through. And
just so we're getting it correct, you played every instrument on.
Yeah.
All the instruments. That's basically what you're telling us. When you say you brought all your instruments, you totally created that from scratch by yourself.
Yeah, I brought the drum kit, brought the piano, brought the bass, some guitars.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's such a music heavy EP,
Right.
This is not you with a guitar. It's pretty music heavy, I would say. So it's super impressive.
There's a lot of music on there. It's filled with music, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So this was in summer of 21.
Right. And then I had so much fun that I decided to do it again in summer of 22. This time in Keysville, New York. Shout out Marilyn, owner of the Airbnb.
Shout out Marilyn. Love you.
She was great because I forgot my granola and my mustard, and she provided both of those things.
Perfect.
Because the whole thing is that I bring all the food too, so I'm not doing anything. I'm just
Yeah.
microwaving burritos to eat.
But no mustard is a no-go.
For the sandwiches, it's really crucial.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so I didn't, I have my special mustard. Forgot that, but she provided the brown stuff. So
awesome.
It was good.
Hell yeah.
And then, so I did that one, and that was Russo, titled after the cabin.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Then this past summer, or this current summer, I guess, a month and a half ago, I just got back from doing another one.
Hell yeah.
And
wow.
So, I'm in the process of mixing that one now.
Okay. tell me, I'm jumping around here, but now I'm really curious. Tell me, like, how did 21 like diverge from 22, which diverged from 23? Like, how has that evolution been for you?
Yeah, so I would say I streamlined my process, and so that gave me more time. So when I first got there, like first summer, I really didn't know what I was doing. And so I spent a ton of time like tinkering around with my recording setup and like tuning the drums and some stuff that I could have figured out beforehand. And so I was, working like 12, 14-hour days, like rushing. It was crazy. It was fun, but it was a lot. And so every subsequent summer I kind of, figured out more stuff I could do beforehand without like cheating the premise.
Yeah.
And it gave me the freedom to add more stuff and more details, and also the freedom to revise a little more. Because that first summer, I like, as soon as it was recorded, I was like, okay, I have something, I have to move on now.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, so the process kind of matured a little bit.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's really cool. It reminds me, do you know who Bon Iver is?
Yeah.
Bon Iver, like, I feel like that was like his claim to indie fame, was like For Emma was like written in a cabin in Wisconsin somewhere in like total isolation. I like the vibes.
Nice. Well, now I'm jacking his claim.
That's awesome. How did you learn so many instruments?
Well, I started on piano.
Cool.
In like first grade.
Okay.
That's number one.
We're going
and then
all the way back.
Right. Yeah, thanks Mom and Dad for making me stick with
Shout
that.
out Mom and Dad.
Yeah, shout out them. And then in sixth grade, I picked up the bass,
cool,
which has since gone on to become sort of my primary instrument, though probably just because of demand.
Yeah.
But also, I really like it. And then
it's so fun to play.
It's
fun to play like live. Like
right.
That's what's up.
Are you a bass player yourself?
Absolutely, I'm not a bass player. I like mess around.
But so you know how fun it is.
Yeah, so I know how fun it is.
Right.
Would never, absolutely not.
Gotcha.
I can play Dreams by Fleetwood Mac in the bass, and that's pretty much I mean, come on, do we need anything more than C and F, maybe, whatever that.
Even that is like
1 and 3. 1 and 3, yeah.
Right. So then picked up drums, and then the last one was guitar because my dad was a guitarist. Cool. So I did everything I could to avoid playing that, but finally I gave in.
Okay, thank you, Dad. Shout out Dad once again.
Yes.
You were playing bass on stage.
Right.
That was
for
really
this
cool.
gig it was bass and singing.
So tell me, you say tough?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that like?
Well, right, because with most instruments, I feel like it's, with guitar and drums especially, it's like more of a rhythmic thing. And you put your finger somewhere and then you just like repeatedly making a sound. But with bass, it's like another melody. And I also play the fretless bass, so I can be out of tune twice at once.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of practice that went into that because I never played bass and like been the lead singer before.
Yeah. Natural. Had you played in bands before?
Yes, many bands.
Yeah, you seemed like comfortable up there,
That's good.
Did not seem like that was your first time on stage.
Right. It was my first time leading a group,
yeah.
I'd say. But yes.
How'd you find your band?
Well, I'll go in order. Matt Nemeth, met him while playing for Thea Zalewski.
Cool.
Shout out Thea. Matt is a killer pianist, and I knew had to have him on the project.
Yep.
Matt Diener, I went to college with. We were in the Big Sip together, which is my college band.
Cool.
Name drop. And yeah, we're best homies, and I knew that he was going to be on there for sure.
Yeah.
Cal McCandless on drums. Initially, I had slotted Jonah Baruta for drums, also who I met playing for Thea. He couldn't make it last second, so Cal stepped in, did an amazing job.
Awesome.
Learned all the tunes. They're not easy drum tunes to learn, but he learned them all, made charts. It was incredible.
Cool.
And then Van Garrison, also on keys. Just local dude, plays in a ton of bands, All Night Boogie Band, Scram.
Love all those.
Yeah, and he's my guy. So yeah, it was, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have those really good friends to be there along the way and bring the music to life.
Got it. Cool. Let's talk about Russo and the maybe inspiration behind it. When you're writing lyrics, are you like a lyrics first guy, or you're a music guy and then you fill it in?
Yeah, lyrics absolutely last.
Yeah.
Yeah, music definitely comes first. And yeah, so the way it goes, or the way it has gone, is I'll pretty much finish the music. I'll finish the tunes and then start the lyrics. And it's kind of like it divides the session in half.
Yeah, okay.
With, exceptions for overdubs and things, musical things that I want to come back and record. But the process generally is, on rare occasion, I'll know what the song is about while I'm playing the music for it. But often what happens is when searching for a melody, a vocal melody, I'll just have sort of a placeholder phrase.
Yeah.
That I like the vowel sounds of.
Yeah.
And either that is good enough to be the phrase from which the rest of the lyrics are sprouted, or I'll find something else that is less gibberish but still has the same sound, and write it from there. But it usually will start with a phrase from which you get the tone, or sort of how the song feels emotionally, and then tap into something real or something imagined, because not all the lyrics are biographical.
Yeah, cool. I do you know who Shaky Graves is?
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan. But I have been following him for such a long time, and have just absolutely been puzzled over his song lyrics for so long, and I feel like I've dissected them and oh god, he's so deep. And a year or two ago I heard him in an interview being none of those songs are about me. Right. It's man, I just write them.
Totally.
They have no basis for anything that's
Right.
actually happened in my life. And I cool.
Yeah.
Talk to my friends about oh god, isn't this lyric just so deep? And he's yeah, no dude, I just write them about anything. They're not about anyone real. It's
Right. I will say though, even if it's not about something real, it often is still coming from a real place or a real feeling.
Yeah.
And
just
because it didn't happen to me doesn't mean it's not real.
100%. I don't know. I used to, be more of more into lyrics, I guess. A lot of times I would write a poem and then I would be okay, how can I make this into a song? But I think since being more into music, I do exactly what you were saying. So often if I have a riff or anything that I want, then I'll just sing a ton of gibberish until some amount of words come out, and then I'm well, that's a song, right? that counts for something. Cool. I wanted to ask about Dream of You. It has a sample.
Yeah.
Right? What's the sample?
Yeah, so that sample is Ray Bradbury.
Okay.
He's an author of Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah.
And really, I wanted Vonnegut, but there weren't any good enough YouTube clips of him saying anything remotely applicable to the song. So then I was related video. Finally found this interview, which I liked sort of the audio characteristic.
Yeah.
Just sort of the way his voice sounded. And then I just spliced it together to form some series of sentences that were vaguely related to the subject matter.
Yeah, cool. I really like that it stood out to me quite a bit.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. I would love to get to a point where I'm sampling something. I always wonder I don't know, so many of my favorite artists have samples from these really deep cut things that I don't recognize. And then I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but have you ever heard the actual live I don't know, speech or whatever it comes from, and you're wait, where do I know that from? There's that this Macklemore song from 2000 and I can't remember what it is. I feel it's Other Side, but I might be wrong. I don't know. Some very popular Macklemore song, and I just remember hearing the actual speech that it was sampled in this one Macklemore song 12 years later, being what's happening to me? Why can I remember exactly why do I know this speech?
Recently, I just found the original source of the Skrillex Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites.
Oh my god, yes!
Oh my god. And it was, I forget what it was, but it was this girl that had just done a Rubik's Cube or something. It was
Yes.
some really benign
And
thing
like
that.
like a Vine or like YouTube
Yeah,
clip or something
exactly.
like very like deep cut from the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so weird when that happens. I wanted to ask you about that though. That's like, I don't know, the best point, or for me the best part about interviewing artists is like I always have so many questions. Like, do you ever listen to music and you're like, what do they mean by that, or
Right.
like what is that? Like I really like to, I don't know, be able to. It's cool. It's very rare to get the opportunity to actually like ask artists about it.
True.
Do you have a favorite song that you've done so far?
It's a tough one. I think I do though.
Okay,
Low key.
spill.
And it's the very first one off of the first EP.
Cool. Yeah.
Just because it was the first thing that I had done,
Yeah.
and it just felt so magical. And so even if putting the song itself aside, the experience of making it was like so intense and so like, yeah, special to me that every time I hear it, it takes me back. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
What's the
cool.
name of it?
The song is called From the Heart.
Cool. Perfect first song.
Right.
Perfect first song.
Though I will also preface, or I guess it's not a preface at this point, I will amend that answer to say that's my favorite tune that I've released so far. Because the 4 that I'm working on now,
All right.
I like them.
All
I
right.
like them more than anything I've done. And I felt that way about each project as I've been doing it.
Totally. That's
Which
how
is-
you should feel. I
Right,
think.
that's how it should be. But
You jumped the gun on one of my last questions, which is that you have this EP that you're working on.
yes.
Do you have a projected release date?
So the release date is once I'm done with it. Historically, it's been like the fall following the summer
Cool.
where it's recorded.
Great
But
time
this
to
time,
release.
I think I'm a little ahead of schedule. Also because I actually went to the cabin like about a month earlier than
Sure.
I had done the previous 2. So yeah, maybe September, October.
Cool. You're still going, like you recorded everything independently. Do you mix and master yourself?
So it's the same process. I mix them, but I send them off to be mastered because I don't trust myself with that.
As you should.
Yeah, and it's like at a certain point.
Who knows how to master things? Not me. I don't know how to do anything. I'm like so amazed by, I don't know whenever I get something mastered, I'm like, yeah, no, this is how it should be.
Totally.
I have no idea how you master anything, and also I know I could never do it.
Right. Yeah, it seems like such an obtuse process.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way about mixing until I did it. I just sort of
Yeah.
jumped in and like was watching a ton of tutorials and stuff.
So cool. Definitely like a skill. I don't know. A skill I'd love to be able to work on eventually. I mean, it's got to be so cool to be able to do so much of the work by yourself. It's really impressive.
Definitely. Though
Really
I will
impressive.
say, for any project that's not this, I'm not mixing my own shit. No chance. It's so much work.
It's so much work.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's really like admirable that you can mix yourself, though, especially with like the type of music you do. I wanted to ask you, I should have asked you this at the beginning. We kind of got carried away. What would you call your style of music?
I wish I had a good answer.
I wish I had a good answer.
Yeah,
I was
I
like
guess-
gonna introduce you. I'm like, how do I even? I don't even know how to say this.
Yeah, and people ask that. I never really know what to say. I think I've landed on like indie, whatever that encapsulates,
Sure.
with like pretty heavy jazz influence.
Yeah, I'm trying to look on Spotify what you have. As
I don't even know what I put for that.
What does it say? Completely unhelpful. Usually it says, oh, that's so weird. You can see where people are listening.
I know you could do that for Spotify for artists, like the behind
Yeah,
the scenes
I know,
thing,
but
can you for...
it really says like Burlington, New York City, Buffalo. You got some Terrytown, U.S. listeners.
Hey, let's go. Shout out Terrytown.
Shout out South Burlington.
Yeah, true. Shout out all those places.
Whoa, crazy. Yeah, okay, indie, jazz. Do you have like, I mean, it is jazz like it's like jazz fusion heavy. I feel like it's offensive to say jazz fusion.
No, I mean, listen, for me, none taken. But yeah, it's like I don't know, in the vein of people like maybe Lewis Cole or like Thundercat or something, taking jazz harmonies and sort of a slightly off the beaten path approach to like a pop song structure.
Yeah,
Like I'll still do verses and choruses and stuff.
totally. And
but
you have
yeah.
like indie voice, I guess.
Right.
Like
Yeah, very unprofessional, like bedroom pop sort of vocal approach. That's all I'm working with.
Do you have like musical inspirations? Like, are there people that you really vibe with that you want to sound like?
Yeah, I mean both of those guys.
Yeah.
And then a lot of like UK jazz.
Yeah.
Alchemist especially, though less so in like overall song feeling, but just his harmonies are incredible.
Cool.
And like his sort of his chord progressions. I've definitely lifted a few emotions from those.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You're gonna play more shows in Burlington, maybe?
That's the plan.
You got any like upcoming, like the summer? What's the plan?
Nothing lined
you got
up
anything
right
to
now.
like anything else to shout out?
No, unfortunately not. I mean, this first one was so much work on my part because I wrote out charts for everybody because I wanted to do it right, basically. And obviously these are incredible musicians whom I trust to, play great stuff. But I sort of had pretty specific parts on the recording, and so I had to arrange them, first of all, because the instrumentation of the live band is different than the instrumentation on the record.
Yeah.
And then manually write out also like the most important things that I wanted note for note. Other than that, I just gave them the chords and let them go free. But yeah, so it was a ton of work. And for the next show, I'll probably write more charts for the new tunes that I'm doing that have yet to be released. So I'm a little intimidated by the amount of effort that it's going to take, but I know it's going to be great. And, much love to all the guys in the band. They were, chomping at the bit to do another one. So
that's
got to do it.
It's really awesome. It's so crazy to think like how different, I don't know, it's so different than like a traditional pop, like, I don't know, any like my songs I've ever written. It's kind of like these 4 chords and like do this pop drum fill and have fun on stage.
Totally.
It's such a different type of like beast kind of.
Yeah.
I guess I hadn't thought about like how much work you personally would have to do to get everyone ready.
Right. Though now it would be much less work because I already know those tunes.
So true.
So the barrier is lower.
Yes.
So I really have no excuse.
Lower barrier entry. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Do you have any like venues you'd really like to play around town?
Yeah. I mean, I'd definitely like to do like Nectar's. Would be fun.
Yeah, so cool.
Foam. Love playing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are sort of the two big ones I was thinking of reaching out to next.
Cool.
Radio Bean was nice because it's a bit of a smaller space and like shorter set.
Perfect first set. Like we were talking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I also, with the band I've got, would love to just do some other like play some jazz in there too, like because we're all very capable of doing it. I think it'd be a fun little.
It's really cool.
Spice it up.
Yeah, you definitely had like the audience going, which I feel like is like very crucial for like Nectars or something like that. But you definitely have the type of music where people are dancing. So
yeah,
really
it was.
Cool.
I didn't know how it was gonna go over, but everybody was lovely, very receptive.
Cool.
So yeah, feeling confident to like
keep going.
Yeah,
that's really awesome. Anything else you feel like is dire important you want people to know about you or your music?
I think they should listen to it.
Okay. You want to just plug yourself? Where can people find your music? Where can people find you? Where can people find updates if you are going to play?
Yeah. So, again, my name is Jack Cattabiani, and I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. I think the best place for updates would be just follow me on Instagram at @little_stromboli. Or you can search Jack Cattabiani, but I know that last name is hard to spell.
Yeah,
so.
Can't do it. Won't be saying it on air, that's for sure. Okay, Instagram and Spotify.
Yeah.
Cool. Jack, thank you so much for being on Are You Okay? You rock for letting me solicit the show to you and actually doing it. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This is a blast.
Sweet.